everyone, welcome to another What's New presentation with Trimble Business Center version 3.82. So my name is Riley Smith and I've got my coffee. I'm ready to go and tell you about two new great features that we have in this release for Trimble Business Center, and that's the cutting plane view as well as the plane definition manager. So stay tuned. So what is a cutting plane view? So the cutting plane view is essentially like cutting through bread with a butter knife. We're opening a slice through the point cloud, and with that slice we can define a width or just use that infinitesimal small slice to define what data is viewed. One of the big struggles with point cloud data now is how do I use this data in a 2D view? With the cutting plane view, you now have this capability to cut oblique planes through your point cloud. Now, what is an oblique plane? Let's define that first. So in TBC, our coordinate system, if we go to the plan view, this is a 2D representation of the data. It's essentially looking from the top down, which is what we call the plan view. When we go into three-dimensional views, now this is where we have trouble drawing that 2D information on non-plan view planes. So how do we do that? Well, the first feature that we've implemented under the Point Clouds tab in TBC is the Plane Definition Manager. Open that feature up. This allows you to now create these user-defined custom planes. So what is a plane? Some of you think of this like a user-defined coordinate system. So instead of taking our regular 0, 0, 0 flat plan view coordinate system, we're now going to essentially create our own. So I hit the new button. Let's give it a name. I'm going to call this Riley's Plane Definition. And then I'm going to select a method. So what's a method? This is how we're going to define the plane. My favorite, 3-point click selection. So in this here, I've got a building. I want to use the building face to create a plane. So let's just select 3 points on the plane. Once I have these 3 points, notice there's this green plane, and we display an axis for that plane. So this is telling you how your coordinate system is going to be defined. There's also a fourth option for the position. So I'm going to position it right there, the corner of the building. Got a little green highlight. I can zoom around and see how that plane is cutting on the building. Say, okay, that's great. I've got my plane. I'm good. I can close out. So now, how do I take that building face and actually get some information? I want to draw out the outline of the building face, maybe the windows, and be able to create a finished 2D drawing from that. That's where the cutting plane view comes in handy. So I open up that command, and this is another view in TBC. So we have all these other views like the plan view and 3D view. Now we have the cutting plane view. And the cutting plane view takes this plane that I've defined, this Riley's plane definition here. Also lets me create new planes if I wanted, if there's other ones I wanted to use, and zoom into my data and now actually draw in a plan view like environment from that user-defined coordinate system. So notice not all of that building face is displayed. Why not? Well, because I defined it on the front of the building face. You can notice if I zoom in that some part of that building face is inset. It's not a flat surface. So I need to define how I can see more of that data. So if I go over and select the cutting plane thickness, let's say it's 2 meters, 2.0, and now it displays more data. What it's doing is defining a thickness for that slice through the bread as I was talking about before. So now when I slice through, I'm getting a slice of bread that's 2 meters wide, and what it'll be, 1 meter on either side of the plane. Now if I zoom into my data some more, I can clearly see the building outline and I can start to draw. So in this case, maybe I want to draw the building outline, so I can use a Polyline feature. I hit the Polyline. I can give it a name. Let's call it building outline. Layer if I wanted. A lot of people don't know this. If you hit the space bar, it'll bring up our layer manager. Let's use layer manager. We'll get a layer called building. Maybe let's make it a cool color like magenta and go OK. Once that layer is created, now we can specify an elevation if I want. I can leave it at 0. Now I want to start drawing on the building. So I can just zoom in to this point cloud, snap onto it, and start drawing around the building. There's a little beveled corner there, so maybe I'll get that. And I'll start drawing, keep going. After I've finished drawing the outline of my building using the Polyline command, I can then use the rectangle command to create the outline of the windows on this building facade. Then I can also use moving, copying, and editing commands under the Edit tab to speed up my workflow in creating those CAD objects. After I'm done that, I can view this data on the plane in the 3D view. As well, I can add text objects inside the cutting plane view that will show up in both 3D and cutting plane view for plotting purposes. This concludes demonstration on the new features in TBC's version 3.82. Hope you have fun using them. Happy surveying.